and welcome to what's got to be one of the most incredible competitions in the world. The fight is on against the stunning backdrop of Mauritius for the title of the World's Strongest Man 1996. Now, we already know who 4 of the finalists are, and by the end of this, Heat 3, we'll know the names of another 2. If you've been watching so far, you'll have already realised what a mixed bunch the competitors are, and this week is no exception. We range from the very stoic Regin Vagadal from the Faroe Islands to Magnus Samuelsson, who's spending his honeymoon with his new wife, Christina, competing in this event. And I know I'm not meant to be biased, but I'm a bit of a sucker for romance. Here's Paul with more information on the competitors.
6 brand new strongmen this week, 4 very demanding events, which is going to test every ounce of their strength and power. As always, the scoring is very simple. If you win an event, it's 6 points, it's 5 per second, and so on, down to just that 1 point if you make last place. Now, tactics in World's Strongest Man have always been very important. We witnessed that last week when Harriet Badenhorst and Scotland's Forbes Cowan just timed it perfectly to go through to the final. Who will join them? We'll soon find out. So let's meet them all now, starting with the giant Magnus Samuelsson of Sweden. He may be on his honeymoon, but as his wife well knows, his whole life is dedicated to becoming the strongest man in the world. Raimonds Bergmanis is Latvia's first ever export to World's Strongest Man. Atlanta was his last port of call as an Olympic weightlifter. Colin Cox is New Zealand's strongest man. Always passionate about strength contests, this Maori believes he can win any physical test. Heinz is one of the most experienced men around. His physical statistics are very impressive too, ideally suited to this sort of contest. There's a huge amount of interest in the Faroe Islands about the performances here of Regin Vagadal in his first ever international competition. Finally, Holland's Berend Veneberg just missed out on a place in the final last year. This time he's bigger and stronger and totally focused on qualification.
It's not difficult to see why more and more people are flocking to Mauritius for their holidays. The setting for our competition, Lakoko Beach, is a great place to unwind. Whether you're a budding Sharon Davis, desperate to be Jacques Cousteau, just out for the odd thrill, or concentrating on winning our first event, the Super Yoke, a formidable weight of over 350 kilograms.
It's a very unusual way to spend your honeymoon, isn't it?
Yeah, but pretty much all the men here is kind of unusual. So.
Your last big competition was in Atlanta in the Olympic Games. How different do you think this sort of contest is going to be?
Труднее, наверное, будет здесь, потому что это мои вторые соревнования только. А в Атланте как будто я уже выступал и на чемпионатах мира, и на чемпионатах Европы. Там легче было.
You've got the strength, you've got the courage, but are you relaxed? Are you nervous?
I'm very comfortable, to be honest. I feel relaxed. I think the experience over the last 12 months will pay dividends, and it'll be all on the day, as always.
Well, as far as today is concerned, the temperature already up in the 90s once again as we see our first strongman get ready for the 25-metre course. Raimonds Bergmanis, our Olympian and our third competitor from the former Soviet states, where strength contests have always been so popular. Now then, Olympic weightlifters are renowned for having great power in the legs and massive strength in the back. This test could be just the job for the Latvian. Coming up towards 15 meters to go and making good progress, and balance so important with this awesome weight across the shoulders. This is much quicker than any of the practice runs we've seen so far. Look at this, 22.51. That's a great start for Bergmanis, a superb debut. Mr. and Mrs. Samuelsson getting ready. Magnus, a great beast of a man and raring to go. Dougie Edmonds just telling Magnus to get ready. Edmonds the referee.
Stand clear.
Well, Magnus has really worked on his legs since last year. Oh, I spoke too soon. He's staggering like crazy. He's finding it tough, and Christina there finding it tough as well, but not half as tough as her man. This is desperate for Samuelsson. He can't get going at all. Oh dear. No. A bad start indeed. Not a happy lady. Heinz Ollesch getting strapped up, complete with that extra thick blue super suit for support. Oh, the German's got enormous shoulders. He's only got 7 meters to go to beat Samuelsson. Steady as she goes. Oh, now then, that gave his supporters a bit of a scare. He's away now, into his stride and looking good, even with 700 pounds on his back. That's like carrying two 25-stone men. 22.51 is still the time to beat by Bergmanis. He's getting closer. He's just outside, 1/10 of a second behind the leading time. A magnificent effort. Vagadal next. You're just 1/10 of a second slower than this man. But it was very quick.
Yeah, I think the reason is I didn't eat really good.
Your start was very dodgy. It looked as though you were going to drop it at one point.
Whole body was shaking. But the first event is over, so let's continue.
Incidentally, Raimonds Bergmanis, his English is not so hot, but I think he got the point there from Ollesch. Well, the public address announcer just told the crowd that Regin Vagadal is from the Faroe Islands. And this guy understands English perfectly, so he won't be very happy about that. But he's going great guns here. Once these guys get over the initial shock of the weight and the problems of balance, they seem to get faster and faster. This is a good effort. He's really going for the line. I think he may just be outside the leaders. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Everybody is stunned at that. That looks like a very nasty accident indeed. And naturally, everybody concerned. There's his coach. We can see it again, though I'm not sure I want to. I think he was going so fast, he just lost control. That could have been a terrible accident. Well, believe me, his head does hurt, but these guys are very tough. Regin, your time was 24.50. That puts you in third place, despite the fall. Are you pleased?
Yeah, I'm very pleased. The first time, so just have to try to do my best.
Does your neck hurt at all? Was that an injury? Unbelievable composure by Vagadal as our fifth man gets ready. The Dutchman, Berend Veneberg. Another man wearing that thick elastic suit for support.
Lift.
The big squat into the upright position, a massive weight for Veneberg. It doesn't look very comfortable, does it? Mind you, if it was easier, it wouldn't really be a world's strongest man contest, would it? But now we're moving. And it's still that time of Bergmanis, which is sitting pretty. Bergmanis and Ollesch are in the big points at the moment. Well, he's going to finish the whole 25-meter course, I think, but it's actually quite slow. He's going to be around about 5 or 6 seconds off the pace. There you have it, 29.55. He's back in fourth place with just one man to go. The New Zealand flag shows it's time for our last man, Colin Cox, to see if it's going to be his day after all. He always wears that Maori symbol around his neck. I wonder if he can tap into any power that it's got. He's one tough customer, is Colin. Very softly spoken and thoughtful, but once he gets into a competition, he's as tough as old boots. I don't think Bergmanis is going to believe it if he wins. His first ever international competition. And win he's going to. Colin Cox has got some way to go. He'll be outside of that time. He's going to try and go for Vagadal's time of 24.5, but that's gone as well. 26.87. The Kiwi is in fourth place. Were you surprised that you won?
Я надеялся, конечно, но не такой успех.
This is a surprise not for him. This is a surprise for his friends.
No good translation.
It's not?
So we're underway with Heat 3, and after some of the surprises we've had before, the question is, can Raimonds and Heinz keep it up? Well, let's hope Magnus Samuelsson's honeymoon improves now in event 2, the wheel flip. Not a difficult concept, you just flip tyres down a course. It just becomes difficult when you realise the tyres are this big. The course is 20 metres long, the men compete in pairs and they're timed, but the real exhaustion factor comes from the fact that they're working on sand. It's guaranteed to be a hard path to tread.
And judging by the way Magnus Samuelsson is bounding out there to join Berend Veneberg, he can't wait for the challenge to begin. So the initial push and then a very big lift required to get this 500-pound tyre in motion. That's 225 kilograms, and the Dutchman going well. Samuelsson finding that initial lift a little bit more difficult. Veneberg on his second. He's used to this sort of lifting. He's an accomplished weightlifter and powerlifter. Samuelsson very much taller, finding it a bit of a struggle. That picture is deceptive. Veneberg is well ahead. You can see from that picture. 2 more pushes for Veneberg should do it. Oh, he's loving this. Magnus trying to get psyched up as well. Veneberg, there he is, 48.69 seconds. Tremendous performance. That is the target. And Magnus getting a real ear bashing from Christina. I think he's just about had enough. He needs 2 more pushes as well, and that seems impossible. That's enough. It will be measured, and Magnus will be very frustrated. How do you feel now?
Tired.
Silly question.
Feels good.
And just to show that these tyres are very heavy, Gregor and Colin, 2 of our helpers, struggling to get them back to the start. There was certainly a big difference in the performances of the first 2, so how will Vagadal and Cox get on, and how is our Faroe Islanders' head? Colin Cox totally dwarfed by the tyre.
2, 1.
Now after the first push, this is where it's very difficult to get a grip. Well, it's neck and neck. Down it goes, equal at the moment. Vagadal, amazingly, no ill effects at all from the first event. And he's edging just ahead out of shot. That's Colin Cox. And Vagadal now going for a third. He really is a powerhouse. Colin's got his second, but Vagadal well ahead. And that time by Berend Veneberg is looking better and better. Vagadal will need at least 1 more after that one. Cox is closing in on the marker of Samuelsson. Now come on. Just 1 more should do it. Cox has got a fair way to go. Still behind Samuelsson there. This is the one for Vagadal. A big push now. The tyre digging into the sand, and that was what Philippa was talking about, making it so much more difficult. There you have it, 67.8. A very gutsy performance by the man from the Faroe Islands. Now then, what can Colin Cox do now? He's still behind the marker of Samuelsson, and Magnus knows it. It looks as though Colin's had enough. He's totally run out of steam. The muscles have seized up. Colin's marker just inches behind Magnus Samuelsson, and that will cost him at least 1 point. The final pairing, the top 2 from event 1, Heinz Ollesch and Raimonds Bergmanis, who is gaining in confidence with every step, and we suspect understanding more English than he led us to believe originally. Heinz Ollesch, the strongest man in Germany, Bergmanis, the strongest man in Latvia. Now, can Bergmanis make it 2 in a row, or can Ollesch turn the tables on the Latvian? Straight away, both of them turning that tyre over easily the first time. Ollesch now on the lead, and Bergmanis beginning to struggle. Veneberg looking at the clock carefully. He really is struggling. Ollesch desperately trying to get that tyre upright. That's the easy part. He goes past Colin Cox and Samuelsson. Well, remarkable performances, because neither of them have really got to grips with this event. Both of them being filmed for posterity by Colin Cox, but there won't be any smiles for the camera. Now Ollesch looks as though he's blown up. He'll manage to push it over. He knows he's safe in 3rd place because he sees the marker of Cox and Samuelsson. He gives up. He's in 3rd place. That prompts Bergmanis to quit as well. And Veneberg is delighted, as is girlfriend Sylvia.
Oh, good for him. But Raymond's going from one extreme to the other in this heat, from 1st place in the opening event to last in this. And it seems that concussion has done nothing to impair Regin's performance.
Of course, that is ook. It'd be nice if you have 6 competitors now. To be when you make a mistake, you can also go on, and maybe you can come in the final also.
At the halfway point, consistency the name of the game for Heinz Ollesch, tied on the top of the table with the big surprise of the competition, Regin Vagadal.
Are you disappointed with that event?
No power in the legs.
Where did it hurt you most?
The legs were like jelly.
Just before the next event, time to give you a glance around this gorgeous place that we're in. That's the Black River Gorge at the southern end of the island. It was actually a hideaway for runaway slaves. Mauritius generally is a very lush place, full of wildlife like those long-tailed parrots. And like most islands, a lot of Mauritian wildlife is endemic. It's unique to the island. You don't tend to find those pecking off your milk bottle tops at home. And some other unusual spectators we found who showed an interest in the proceedings, well, they're in for a treat, because on the lagoon at Lokoko Beach, it's the axe hold, a real stamina test, and enough to inspire butterflies in any man's stomach, even the huge Magnus Samuelsson. Magnus, we know that this next event, the axe hold, is one that you're worried about. So we've done you a favour. We've got you in a special trainer to teach you how to do it.
Sounds good.
Would you like to come in, Christine? Yeah. It's actually your wife. You probably recognise her. Okay. Amazing.
Well, Christina achieved 28 seconds, and those are the real axes. There's going to be some major embarrassment here if any of the big men don't get past that target. The arms have to be kept straight, and the top of the axe must keep the electronic contact in position. Bergmanis must keep the 10.5 kilo axes rock solid for as long as possible. The first few seconds always appear easy, but the strain on the shoulder and the arm muscles doesn't take long to create a lot of pain. And then it's just a case of gritting your teeth. Veneberg in front, checking the time. It's a good time, though. Olympic weightlifters not renowned for massive strength in the arms, but this man is doing well. 50 seconds. Anything over a minute will be a superb performance. Just try holding a 1 kilo bag of flour or sugar at arm's length for a minute and multiply that by 10 and you've got the idea. This is a good time, 65.55 seconds as the buzzer goes. Bergmanis has set a big target. Well, Colin Cox is next. He's down in 5th place. He needs a big performance here. The officials just adjusting the axes. Oh, just a little problem there with the left arm, but he's composed now. I hate to admit it, but when I tried this event and nobody was looking, I managed about 20 seconds before the axes fell to the ground. But Colin looks as though he's in control. It's a bit like that story about banging your head against a brick wall. It's wonderful when it stops. There's Ollesch, he goes next, and the leader watching with interest. Coming up towards 40 seconds. His arms are bending just a little bit there, and there it goes, 41.6 for Colin Cox, and that really hurt. Not a lot of action in this event, but the crowd appreciating a difficult test. Incidentally, Mrs. Magnussen is a blacksmith in her day job, so she's used to physical labor. Magnus is a farmer. He's a very fit man. But I have to say, he's got incredibly long arms, which I think is a definite disadvantage here. We know those arms and shoulders are strong, though. This is the man who broke Nathan Jones' arm in the arm wrestling last year. He's finding this very, very hard. Despite Christina's vocal support, he keeps checking the sides just to make sure he's keeping those electronic contacts in place. He's gone well past Colin Cox's time. He's now going to chase Bergmanis. He must score some good points here. He's in last place at the moment. This is his best performance so far, 61.55 in 2nd place, and that was a great effort. Still 3 men to go, though, so will it be enough? Well, it's still very hot here, and that's one way of staying cool. Heinz Ollesch up next, joint leader with Regin Vagadal. And Ollesch, the original gentle giant. And his target now has to be over a minute to make sure he gets a big score going into the last event. Remember, Forbes Cowan in the last programme had a comfortable lead at this stage, and it really did take the pressure off. But this heat is so close. Just 2 points between the top 4 men. And just remember, 2 men qualify for the final. Chasing Colin Cox's time of 41.6. His whole body locked up. He goes past that. Oh, 44.69. That was rather sudden. He gets 3rd place. 4 down and 2 men to go. Well, the crowd have seen some great performances today. But look at this. Ollesch, obviously not happy with his time, gets consolation from girlfriend Bryndis. Actually, the strongest woman in Iceland. Now, a chance for Regin Vagadal. The first time he's done any of these events, which makes his performances even more incredible. And this man studying to take his sea captain's exams. In total control at the moment. It's his coach who seems to be anxious. Now, he's creeping up on Colin Cox's and Heinz Ollesch's time. Veneberg prowling, the last man to go. He's gone past the Kiwi and the German, and now for the Swede. Can he make 60 seconds or more? No, he can't. 55.9, he's in 3rd place and can finish no worse than 4th. Big applause for Vagadal.
This is strange to hold it. I feel like you're losing it.
You double. Double.
I should let the X.
Yeah.
Bergmanis there in pole position explains how it should be done. But only 1 man can prevent the Latvian from winning his 2nd event. Here he is, Berend Veneberg, who is just 1 point behind Ollesch and Vagadal. Bergmanis wants 6 points, but so does Berend Veneberg. His coach wants him to win as well. This gym owner has all the right credentials for this event. Massively strong arms, a huge chest and big shoulders. And now he moves in on the challengers. He's aiming for Colin Cox's time. He's gone past that. Now for Ollesch. He's beaten the German's time as well. Vagadal is the next one at 55 seconds. What an effort. He's very close to 3rd place. Oh, the axes go crashing to the ground. 53.87. He finishes 4th. I don't think he's going to be happy with that.
Well, Magnus didn't dare do badly after his intensive training with Christina. It paid off, though. That's the best he's done in an event so far.
Needed actually a 5th event to make it all up. In this sport, you have to always have a little bit of luck. If you got events that fits you, then you can score high. And the opposite can always happen.
Samuelsson at the opposite end of the leaderboard to where he wants to be. It's Bergmanis and Vagadal heading the top 4, just 2 points separating all of them.
But there is a big chance now that you can make it to the final.
Ну, после завтра мы все это узнаем.
And off we go to the Mauritian capital, Port Louis, for the last event. It's always on the go and there's a whole different set of sights, smells and sounds, lots of wheeling and dealing, a complete contrast from the laid-back beaches. Behind us now, the harbour in Port Louis, bursting at the seams with fishing boats. Like any other island harbour, it never stops being busy, even for this event. Now we're on the Place d'Armes for the last event in this heat, and you may notice that there's chains all along the road, supported by half-submerged cannons as a symbol of peace. Not that the peace is going to last very long, because this is the only event in all 4 heats where the competitors race against each other at the same time. And this isn't your normal 50-metre dash. Oh no, they'll be carrying 200-kilo weights, which is about the same as carrying 2 15-stone people.
I think this is going to be one of my best events, so I feel pretty confident.
I have to win. That's the only thing who's in my mind. So I only to go for it. I don't think about the points now and about the others. It costs too much energy. I think I need everything for this.
How are you feeling before this event?
Terrible nerves. Terrible. This, you have to do everything, and this, yeah, it's almost this is the final for me. Or you go home, or you can stay.
Nervousness and tension at the start of the 50-meter course. Samuelsson, it would be a miracle if he made the final now. Ollesch, you heard what he said, he has to win. Vagadal, relaxed and thinks he can win. And Bergmanis, full of smiles and close to getting to the final. Veneberg, will he stay or will he go? And finally, Colin Cox, dissatisfied with being in 6th place. The worst weather we've experienced so far, everyone except our strongmen wrapped up nice and warm.
Stand by. Take a grip.
So a mad dash to the line, carrying 440 pounds. That's just like a small car engine. Samuelsson on the far side, trying to drag his along the ground. Colin Cox went down as well, but look at Vagadal streaking away. He said he could win this one. He's certainly in the lead. It's an unusual walking action from all of them. It's very awkward, but that's not surprising. It's going to be Regin Vagadal by a mile. Victory to the Faroe Islands, and he's in the final, but who's going to come second? Bergmanis, and that means he's in the final as well. The rest are well beaten. Veneberg comes in, a solid 3rd place, but it's not enough. The form book is totally upset by those two. Ollesch has blown his chance. Colin Cox, a long journey home awaits him. And Magnus, the honeymoon is over. Colin Cox destined to finish in last place. Magnus trying desperately to finish. I must find out what that means. But look at this, another 12 months of big training ahead of him, no doubt about that.
Oh, Magnus, such a shame, but amazing to see them all race together like that. It seems so easy for Regin. He just zoomed to victory.
The last event, totally decisive, giving us the top 2 men, Bergmanis and Vagadal, heading towards their first ever final.
Regin, are you looking forward now to the final?
I've never tried it before, so just have to wait and see.
And you've forgotten all about the head injury now?
Yes.
And Raimonds, the final for the very, very first time.
Да, вторые соревнования, первый мой финал.
So, as the sun prepares to set on Mauritius, we've had drama and romance all in the one heat. Regin's head injury obviously wasn't that bad because he stormed through to the final along with Raimonds Bergmanis, but we all felt for Magnus and Christina. She could barely speak after all that shouting. So, only one more heat to go, 2 more places in the final to be filled. Will they be by our own Bill Pittock and Brian Bell, or the man who's already got European strongest man under his belt, the fearsome Riku Kiri? You'll have to wait till next time to find out. Bye.
And the world's strongest man is back tomorrow at 1:35, with the final at 6 o'clock, only here on BBC One.
I'll be back.